Hey, thanks very much for joining us today. What we'd like to share with you is a couple of things. First of all, there's what we have today in Kaka'ako, and then we have the vision for what we hope will be here in the future for Kamehameha schools. The property that we're talking about is best shown on this graphic. The property in green is what we're considering for Kaiāulu o Kaka'ako. It's the village of Kaka'ako that we envision for the future. It takes up about 29 acres, and you can kind of see how they're clustered right now. Kamehameha Schools also owns those properties in yellow, but they're not part of the plan. Those are already developed. And 4 blocks, Makaya Walamoana Boulevard, which runs right along there. Those are not part of the plan, but they are envisioned eventually to feed into what we're planning to do in the village. In Kaka'ako, our ownership is, as I mentioned, about 29 acres. And this is land that has been with Kamehameha Schools from the very beginning. These are properties that came down to Pauahi, our founder, from her great-grandfather Kamehameha, through the chiefs that helped him in his unification of the islands, and specifically through Pauahi's cousin Kaiāulu and Auntie Kamamalu. So these are lands that have been with Kamehameha for as long as we've been here, and we treat them with the same regard and respect that is afforded to all of the land owned by Kamehameha Schools. We're not a property owner who's interested in turning a quick profit or just churning as much as we can out of the land. We have to have a long-term view for the lands, because as a educational trust, we're here forever. We're here in perpetuity, and we need these kinds of assets to generate income to support that educational mission. So a lot of times you'll hear about, in real estate markets, bubbles and the desire to maximize all the profits that you can out of the property that you have. Kamehameha is interested in generating that economic return. In fact, as a fiduciary trust, we have that responsibility, but we also overlay other values that help us kind of balance overall what we do with our lands. Those other values being culture. We need to make sure that what we do is culturally appropriate. Our educational mission, that educational value, will be realized through these lands. We also pay attention to the environment, and to the extent that we can, we will be incorporating as much of the green building and sustainability aspects of the development down here that we can. And then finally, as a community, we know that we can't do things down here just by ourselves. We need to take into account what the community will accept. And we've been talking with the community, we've been writing to them, inviting their comments. But we also have to pay attention to the larger community, what the state of Hawaii will accept down in Kaka'ako. And we think that our overall vision for what we want to do down here will actually bring a lot of not just improvement, but it will help to crystallize and serve as a catalyst for what the state is trying to do in the urban core of Honolulu. So those are some of the things, the guidelines, the structure that we put around, that we accept ourselves as we envision what's happening down here. Now, starting this tour, we're at Mother Waldron Park. This was Kamehameha School's land at one point, and it was dedicated to public use many years ago. But it is, as you can see, it is a public park, but it's probably in need of some improvement and some strengthening. And what we'd like to do with the project, the vision is to connect what's happening up here in the public spaces at Mother Waldron and then carry that down Cook Street to the waterfront park that's in Kaka'ako, Makai right now. So you'll see that throughout the tour, you'll see how this vision will begin to unfold, or at least how we're mapping that out. If I could see the...
Sorry. This one?
Yeah. So on our tour today, we'll start up here. We're up here at Mother Waldron, and we'll get on Cook Street and actually make that connection down to Kaka'ako, Makai, and then turn the circle and come back up. But just so you take a look at you have an idea of where we're headed. Okay, should take us about 45 minutes to walk this. If anybody have any questions now? Okay, we can head on to our next stop.
Is this the Pico?
Yeah, we'll go to the Pico. Pico is the next stop.
Okay.
Would you mind carrying this?